Let's look at the week ahead in the stock market. And it's probably the most important week since the start of the year, actually, for the markets. So if we look at where we stand, we're at record highs, basically. But why is it a very important week? The Federal Reserve is going to make an interest rate decision. I don't think they'll change rates, which is fine for the markets because the markets will then say, well, they'll do it later. No need for the markets to panic. The markets would panic if there was any indication rates were going to rise. Number three, mega cap tech earnings. Alphabet, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft are all reporting pretty much on the same day. So we'll be looking out for capital spending. I'll deep dive into that in just 1 second. Economic calendar, not so important. Q1 GDP figures, they usually get revised downwards. Consumer confidence numbers, that'll give reason for traders to create a bit of volatility, as will oil risks and whether or not we've got problems in the Middle East. We've always got problems in the Middle East. I think it's biblical, 5,000 years of them. But as long as we keep below $100 per barrel, it seems that the markets will treat it as background noise. More than $100, the markets will start focusing on it and start probably worrying about it. But for now, we're okay, which is why I said we're at record highs, and you can see the numbers over there. For me, the pick of the bunch is obviously NASDAQ, because year to date, it's up 6.9%. But over the past year, it's almost touching upon a 50% rise. I know what some of you are thinking. Surely that's a bubble. Bubbles are not measured purely by the previous year's gains. It requires a bit more analysis and depth than that. Otherwise, you'd have a very good hypothesis. If the stock market's risen 50% in the previous year, should I exit? Something you can very easily test. Just go on Yahoo Finance, look at historical data, and you can test it. Instead, there's a bit more to it than that. S&P 500 record highs. Why? Well, Iran's ceasefire optimism, strong earnings. Strong earnings means profits, strong profits. Look at Intel. Tech resilience. NASDAQ still keeping things buoyant, and the Fed expectations. What are the risks? Well, inflation, not a great risk. Fed uncertainty, will they, won't they? What's going to happen with the new Fed? Will he reduce interest rates? Of course he will. He was picked by the president, and the president said he wants lower interest rates, and it's interest rates which are really the critical factor for the market. And what are the other risks? Well, geopolitical fragility and oil volatility, which I've already mentioned, but the market seemed comfortable with those, which is good because it means we keep making more money. The FOMC meeting, rate decision expectations, that it'll be a hold, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. And there's some issue about whether Kevin's going to just shut up and get in the car and become Fed chairman or not. He will. It'll be fine. Don't worry. This is the biggie for the moment. It is mega cap tech earnings. Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. I'll give you a clue. There'll be some volatility. There'll be some falls. There'll be some sharp rises. Don't panic. Keep hold of what you've got. If you've got spare cash, hey, between the four of them, I'd happily put it equally into each if I can't make up my mind, or shove it all into Microsoft. I'm equally happy to do as well. What else have we got coming up? Economic data, like I said, Thursday, very busy day. These figures really don't matter except to economists and short-term traders who are looking to panic people, and also journalists who need something to write about. Journalists always need something to write about. So Thursday is the data-heavy day, but the key day is Wednesday because of FOMC rate decisions and the Powell press conference and aftermarket close. Google, Meta, Amazon. I'll try and do a webinar on that day. Monday is fairly quiet. Go out, enjoy the sun. What about the geopolitical stuff, Iran and oil? Well, every second it changes. The Iranians have apparently put forward a proposition to open the Straits of Hormuz, but delay nuclear talks. Well, I think that's where we already were anyway to begin with. The advantage for the Americans is that whilst they've destroyed what looks like a lot of the nuclear facilities, they haven't got their hands on the uranium. So longer term, it's a problem. Short term, and the market does look at the short term. The market doesn't care. As far as it's concerned, get the hell out of there and let's get on with it. Keep oil below $100, you're laughing. And we've been here before anyway. So that's what we are with Brent crude. Physical crude prices, $150, record levels far above futures. That is going to hurt at some point. It's going to hurt the economy. Given global growth is relatively strong, these kinds of impacts will hold back on inflationary impacts. So it's not necessarily wholly negative, because what we don't want is that either the stock market or prices getting too carried away. What this will do is probably cause people to temper their spending somewhat, which overall is good for the stock market. I think, no, surely you want people to spend more. No, because if you let too much through the pipes, too much money through the pipes too quickly, then stock prices, instead of calmly going up steadily, which is what we want, they spike up and then they spike down and we get whipsawed, and they spike down well below their average and then overshoot to the downside. And we don't want that kind of volatility. So what's happening in the Middle East, bottom line, can be a good thing because it tempers corporate spending because of uncertainty, consumer spending as well, and allows the flow of money to be more steady into the stock market and into consumption and into companies' hands. You've got the unnecessary detail about FX over there. So what to watch there, you've got it all of the various scenarios. The bullish case, 30%. Powell says, hey, we'll still reduce interest rates. Earnings out of technology companies are strong. Iran peace progress happens and we don't worry about oil. Base case, 50-50. Interest rates are on hold. Earnings, some good, some bad. And there's a fragile truce. You can see why that's the more likely case. Okay, so now you know what to look at. Now you know what to look out for. Have a look next at alpeshpatel.com if you want to learn how to be better at investing and managing your own portfolios and doing it in a better structured, informative, and informed manner. alpeshpatel.com. And get in touch with us. We'll do a free educational pension portfolio review for you, give you free books, free courses, free lectures, free videos, free articles, everything other than the kitchen sink for free.